Kid, what's up with you? You all right?
What up, my brother?
What's happening?
I can see I got my Wu-Tang plaque in the back. I need my G unit, man. Come on, I was there from the beginning.
Y'all looking good. What's going on, man?
Nah, it's great, man. I love what you're doing, Fifth.
Yeah, like I'm hustling. Look, I got meth. I had to work to get. Man, if he ain't gonna tell you how I was begging him to do this.
50, yeah.
You crazy? Like, look, the way this shit goes. Look, check this out, right? It's cool when we start this off. Television makes stars, right? Feature films they require a star. If you don't have a star, you don't make the money the first 2 weeks, the weekend, right? When you start looking for who is the right person for the target demographic and audience to take the shit to the next level, they looking at it like Hollywood looks at things and look at what they paid them and who not what they mean to the audience that's watching that show. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're looking at it saying they got a different gauge or system to create their value for the person, right? Now, for them, the difference with Mary and Meth, these are my stars. Like, these are people that are stars when I'm just in the neighborhood looking at the TV. Like, it's a different thing. Like, you're on the bus and you go, I came to bring the pain, it's hardcore through the brain. Like every time I do that, every time I start talking about stuff, like he start laughing because I'll go to big and I got more Glocks and text than you. I make it hot. Niggas won't even stand next to you. Like, if it's certain things that when it's a whole group of people that's coming, and you ain't never seen more people come in hip hop at one time other than like through that Wu-Tang wave. It was so many people. I was forgetting who's who. It was Killer Armies. It was Killer Bees. It was so many
all kind of shit,
different fractions of it that it was like, damn. Like even in the what's the name? Like Joe said this. He said 2 people at points you didn't really want to have beef with them because they had so many plane tickets. So many fucking like buses. Yo, so now you go be for who? Okay. Now we gotta do this shit a little different. Everybody gotta move different now. So the shows is really promotional. It's free if they're gonna be anywhere in the vicinity because you gotta pay for everybody you know to be there.
Yeah.
Because it's that heavy. Like you look and you go in the middle of that shit to be the person that stands out in the front. That pulls out to the front. Like this is not even. I remember where I was at when I was seeing this shit for the first time. I was a fucking. Look, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. It works if you work, it's a work. Hi, my name is Curtis. I'm an addict. I was in an inpatient drug treatment program for drug possession charges. When I saw the Wu-Tang shit for the first time come on television, and I'm like, who's that? Because after the first couple of records, when they started to single themselves off, the METHOD, man, and that shit started hitting. It was a different thing. Like, look, I always say this, I don't have favorite artists, I have favorite moments. Artists, and it's points that there's nothing better than that at that point. And you haven't seen why there was so many other artists there for you to choose to work with. This is why that big record was happening like that at that time. He wanted, no, get me that nigga, that one right there. I want to be next to that. To pinpoint the things that stood out. Like if the Buster is put your hands where your eyes can see.
Damn right.
Certain points that is like where they established, to me, their value came at that point because I was like nobody else. I didn't know who else could do that like that at that point. Like even with Rob, that Woe record, I wish that was my record. Shit, like when that shit came out, it was the first time the whole hip hop record was a hook.
Yeah, you're right about that shit. For real.
It's like, so the call out on the record was so stupid. Like when it was hot, that record was like, what is this? Like everybody says the whoa part for him when he performed. I just bad bitch uptown. She was whoa, the whole room shake. You know, I'm like, nah. This is why I opened the whole tour. I opened it with that music. If you listen to the Rock the Mic tour, every night I came out to the whoa track to start the show. There's different things those shits resonate completely different to me because who I am at that point. And I watch the new guys when they come and shit. because they gotta find themselves. They still got to go through that phase where,
Thanks.
you know what I'm saying? Like when it first happens, you're not even knowing what the fuck is going on, bro. Like you just on that ride. And then when the shit, man, I like this is it's ill because I'm getting a chance to do things that like to work with the people that I have so much respect for. That it's easy for me to not give a fuck about who they're focusing on. Focus on, man. Focus on.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like it's not because I'm already going. Like they're already that to me anyway.
Yeah, I was telling my son last night. My son is, young teenager coming up, and he was talking about like hip hop features and shit like that. He was like, yeah, guys only do features because they want to fill out their songs. I was like, nah. I was like, how we came up is because you want to put niggas together who you wanted to see, and we actually was listening to Big and Meth on the what. And so like now, like see, like we from New York, so seeing like 50 fucking with Meth, like that's the shit that what you want to see. That's what we came up on. Like all the niggas fucking with each other who you look up to.
Yeah, it's easy. It's earned. It's well earned. It was a lot of shit to like, bro. Like, in that wave, like it was a lot of shit there, man. For you to stand out in that point, I was like, Jesus, that shit felt.
I was genuinely in love with what I was doing though, because I hated hustling, Fifth. I hated that shit, man. I knew the highlight of my day when I was hustling was when I ran out and I knew I was going to bed. The thing that gave me anxiety was knowing I had to wake up the next morning all over again. You know what I mean? It's like you never promised tomorrow doing that shit. So anytime we got to go on the road or show, I mean, $35 a piece. We was getting $30 a piece. Niggas was getting more per diem than we was getting at shows. But for me, it wasn't the money. It wasn't the money that seized the moment, like you said. It was the moments that mattered way more than what we was getting. Because there's times now where I complete a job and forget I even get paid to do this shit.
Yeah, bro. Like when you get into it, like for me, I trip off of it because I'm looking at both of them like, yo. You gotta look. I always say this. I said, at the point that your material is at its like a peak point. Like when you come, I came 03, right? If a motherfucker was in college in 2003, that's my audience. Because they were experiencing the adult lifestyle for the first time at that point, and they're going out every available moment, right? So you can't escape me at that point. The music's so hot that I don't care where you're going, I'm gonna be there, right? And now those people are successful. I'm talking to my audience when we're making a deal. The same guy who was in college at that point is now at the top of his field, and I'm negotiating with him, making a deal.
Right. It's even younger too, man. A lot of the young rappers that we interview for this show and just making the rounds, man. The starting reference is 50 Cent. There's like, yo, 50 is the first one that I heard and made me really like get into the music.
This is why this is cool, because the young boy go 50, like even Pop, when Pop Smoke comes like that, someone is influenced by it, but these are my influences. But hip hop, the competitive part of it is, you good, yeah, but I'm gonna be better when you see my shit. Watch. Like you try to make something or find something better. Like it's competitive, even as a group. When you're in a group, you're going, watch me to hit my verse.
Right. That's how I used to always
do that to them. I do that all the time in the group.
You're right. You're absolutely right, brother.
Yeah. So like that competitive side of it, that's where like the battling, we changed the terminology to beefing. When following Biggie in the Tupac situation, because then it turned into, it's when you started to use the same terminologies you use in the neighborhood. When somebody's gonna get hurt now.
Somebody's gonna get hurt, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shifts, and you look and you go, it's always been battling a part of it. It's always gonna be the competitive energy connected to it. This is what makes it thrive. This is what makes us bigger than those other genres now. What drove us to a point that, like you saying, okay, yeah, you can make it. How fast can you make music and do everything? But you got a time when it actually hits. Like, remember the Future record? When Future record came out with the March Madness and all that stuff on that tape, That shit was so good that I was like, he fucked it up. Because he came back with another record on top of it. And he didn't give him enough time to realize that nobody was better than that right then. At that point. You see what I'm saying? Like if he would have left a longer window, they would have noticed that nobody's better than him during that particular window of shit that he was creating. And they're going, when you come back, because they always compare to the first album. They'll go back to your first joint, they'll go Illmatic, they'll go Reasonable Doubt, they'll go Get Rich or Die Trying. You don't get a second chance at the first impression. When I get to the bus and the eye and all of this shit, it was so gutter, it was so hood that it was like those things are like, for me, KRS-One's album, the Criminal Minded, was like, that shit like fucked up my whole system. Little Queens and shit, like my hat keeps on making it, and Queens keeps on faking it. Yeah, and I was like, damn.
We from Queens and we love the record though. That was the craziest thing. Because we from Queens and we love that record, man. It's to this day.
I still want to fuck Divine Sounds up. Keep it a buck. Money making, Brooklyn taking, yeah, Queens is the wax, Staten Island, so niggas want they food. You know, to this day we can get over that shit. Shout out to Divine Sounds.
I thought it was really ill, man. Like one of the illest shits about Power is just how you keep, I mean, you know, obviously me and Shy, you know, we Queens niggas, but how you keep taking these elements of like real street life and bringing it to the masses. Like when you was talking about like the Emmys, I'm like, yeah, they need to recognize that shit. Like everybody talking about all this black shit right now. It's like, this is like what we've been going, but we've been doing this. And the fact that you was able to like, y'all scripted something in where it's like, you ain't even got to worry about that nigga in the street. You got to worry about his kids after the fact when something else happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the realest shit ever right there.
We would talk about Power on every podcast that we did and to start everything off, even if the people who were our guests weren't even watching it. And we'd talk about, we'd try to predict what was going to happen and try to predict what was going to happen. So the three of us have been kind of obsessed with it for a minute, I think.
That whole, the point where something organic happened, you know what I'm saying? It's very rare that people watch the show and they see themselves or see someone so relatable that they go, I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? And when Power, when it connected, it was like it created appointment television. It's not a lot of stuff that people stop doing what they're doing to go sit down and watch it. This is why I moved from Saturdays to Sundays, and it was bigger competition because it was Game of Thrones was there. You know, and I'm like, nah, because I know Sunday night is built for television. Monday through Friday, they at work, Saturday, relax. Sunday, they go to church, and they'll be in the house.
Because they got to get up the next day for work, so they in early. Damn right.
How Fifth did it, we was watching the on demand as soon as, like, I would get mad as hell if 12:01 and ain't coming on at 12:01.
Nah, 12:03. 12:03. That shit hit. I was hitting my wife and yelled 12:03. Yeah.
Yo,
on it.
Cut y'all off, but that's just a testament to the great groundwork that was laid before I was even thought of coming, or a second series was even thought of. It's like the work that y'all put in, Fifth, it changed a lot of shit to the point where it's like you couldn't give up on the show each week. The ratings is going up and up and up. And it's strictly really word of mouth. The people did that. You know what I mean? But what brought them there is you. You brought them there. Now, what kept them coming back is definitely the storylines and how authentic everything fucking is at the end of the day and shit. And I'm just, you know, honored to even be a part of something like that. You know what I mean? It's like we got the hardest part because we following something that was already great.
When they see, when they see, y'all saw the 2 episodes?
Yeah, I saw the 2 episodes.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's so good. Look.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was a big fan of Ghost. I think Omari did a hell of a job with it. I hated to see him die. You know, I was some of the people that I was liking all the Tariq memes when people was hating him and stuff like that. But watching these 2 episodes, it's like, damn, I ain't got no choice but to root for Tariq now, because I see how he's trying to help his mom, and even the eulogy that he gave, where he kind of saw things from the perspective of his pops. He still thought his pops was foul, but
as he should. But see, they wanted, myself included, wanted him to tear his father down.
Right.
He refused to do that. His understanding of everything, he had that epiphany at that moment to who his father really was. He even said it. He said, I didn't even know all this stuff about my father. But as time goes on and I'm learning more and more about him, I aspire to be, if not where he went, to go beyond that and become a complete person, to where I can sit down and look myself in the mirror and say, yeah, I might have murdered my father, but at the end of the day and shit, I can stand here as a man, look myself in the mirror and say, I'm here for a purpose.
yeah, I mean, it reminded me, like, me and my father didn't have the closest relationship, God bless the dead, but it just reminded me of how I had a whole perspective of him when I was younger. And then as I came into adulthood, much like when Tariq is just turning like 18 years old, going to college, I was like that same age where I started to like learn more and more about my father. I'm like, damn, we got a lot of similarities. That was crazy. So watching that last night, that gave me kind of a bone chill.
Yeah, I got chills watching it too, man.
When you have those themes are consistent. That's like, even when you look and there's a point where the people around you are saying, yo, you act just like your father, or you acting just like your mother. Like, this is something she would do. Or those different, it's already in us.
Mm-hmm.
Those things. It's already part of who we are. Like, you know, so the behaviors is there without you being, you don't have to be next to each other to get a read on it. It's already in there. Like my whole, and they didn't forgive Kanan for anything that he's done, and I started to actually like the Tyreek character.
I always liked the Tyreek character.
I was the one that they didn't like, and when I noticed that he had that shit in him himself, I'm just identifying with who he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I actually start to like him, because it's not me forcing him; it's him. That's who he is.
Yeah.
They came try to get him, save him from the house while we was in. There's a scene we in the house. Try think he's gonna get him now. Trick, you need to go home. And I'm looking, laughing at him, because I'm like, you think I got him here hostage? Oh, he want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
See? Right. And telling him his mom's in them lied to him to hide facts about the way it was raised and created a better life for him.
Right.
I'm telling them the truth and saying, yeah, that's what it is. They want you to be, they fucking you up. They telling you some other shit. They did this. And it's the truth when I'm telling them what they did. So you're saying, look, when you identify with those qualities, I'm like, yo, there's a point where kids desperately want to be received as an adult. Like, that they're important enough and they can make decisions on their own, when everyone is still saying, you know, we're still seeing things through a different lens. We want to do it. Like, in the neighborhoods, it forces us to grow up faster, because the consequences, they'll charge us as adults.
Big time.
See that in the cities all day. So everything is on hyper speed in the cities, because either you got positive influences, negative influences, you got everything that's there, but you got to pick a direction. Instant gratification is usually driving the decision-making process, and they go towards what can make it happen the fastest. That's why you could dread tomorrow with the next pack, but we got to get what we got to get from that pack.
Well, how about this? How about they won't even charge the kids as adults? They'll shoot them and kill them just like they was adults. And we just seen the thing where they put the 6-year-old kids in handcuffs and stuff like that. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, no, man. It's like, social media is a beautiful thing. Okay, that's warranted. You know what I mean? But it's like, you ain't saying nothing slick to a can of oil when y'all showing us this shit. We've been saying this shit. It's like, oh, it's a problem now. It's been a fucking problem. You know, it's just that it's a camera. Like, what that shit Will Smith said. He said racism ain't never went nowhere. It just
right. You just got a camera on it now, yeah.
With Cannon and Icon, that war,
Yeah.
They're both lost because they wasn't paying attention to Apple and Samsung.
There you go.
How many times have you been in like situations, Fifth, where it's been like, yo, this shit is obviously power, this shit is super real, but has it been moments you're like, nah, can't really go there, you know, just because of the impact it has on like the society. I remember when they was talking about one of the reasons why they ended The Wire was because it had too much of an impact. You know what I'm saying?
They could say that, but they didn't do that for that because nothing did more damage to the communities in the cities than Scarface.
Yeah.
Right.
That movie, that single film, that by itself did extreme damage to the inner city because it was the time period and the drug trade at the same time. What was going on?
And the shit wasn't even a hit in the movies, right? It wasn't even a hit in the movies. That shit hard in the street.
Insert me here. I know it says Cuban. Insert me here. I turn around when he comes in with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything the same. The pushing the limit montage is all they was working for. You know what I'm saying? So in that, you look and you go, where's the limitation? Like even my mom's decisions help influence mine, right? So if you look around, you have a kid at that point, teenage pregnancy wasn't as common as it is now. So at 15, you only get working papers during summer months.
Mm-hmm.
So your options are welfare or to hustle. The upside of hustling is a lot more than, I'm not the welfare type. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm not gonna wait for the check every first of the month. You know, I know those people. We see them. They come down the block. They're the customers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The stress in between time turns them into the customers. Doing nothing else but that. And then you look and you say, the people that seen that had nice things that were representation of financial freedom, they were all from my mom's life. It wasn't called 50, did not yet. Boo Boo, Lil Sabrina. Hey, Lil Sabrina, see, boy, you young. Why your clothes look so old? Ain't nobody to help out, man. It's a lot of people around. We got nine people. My grandmother had 9 children. It's easy to get lost in the mix when you got 9 kids there. You know what I'm saying? So you can find your own direction and start doing shit. I've been hustling forever, man. Like at that point, it was between 3 and 6 while I was supposed to be in the after school program. I'm my grandmother's baby in the house, but I'm hustling outside. Like that's always been there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and once you're around and you're not police, you cool. This is how you could build the Tommy. You're gonna have a different nickname.
Yeah.
I know you can trust him. He's here with us. He's from here with us. You know what I mean? Trailer Park Projects, very similar situations.
I ain't lying, boy.
It's very similar situations, and that, man, I think, like, I thought it was cool because the same time when I saw the 2 characters work well like that before, it was in Minister Society. Because they didn't see Old Dog love nobody. Every time you ask who's the bad guy, they say Old Dog was the bad guy. Kane did way more damage. Even caused the reason for the shootout to get them shot up.
He was the one.
Hit Chauncey in the head, got the police called on him gave them the tape from caused everything.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? But the bad guy is the one that they didn't see with. It was very consistent, Old Dog, right? And he because you didn't see him love nowhere. It was no love interest for him. He's always gonna be the bad guy. I thought that's really the clear part for me was the clear path was during the Kanan journey. And I thought you was gonna ask if there was a moment that felt like a TV moment in the show. For me, it was when I had to kill an old lady.
Right.
I couldn't find a way to make it. I had to go back to Courtney and ask, could I be high? So I could have a legitimate reason for me doing some shit that I don't know. I was like, no, I don't know nobody that would kill the old lady. Because I'm not sure if the hole's still in the wall.
Right.
Or, and I'm like, nah, like.
I mean that, and you know, you driving away in the retirement home trucks and shit. Like, yeah, we seen that you really have taken it there. You know what I'm saying? Like right after a crime committed, you got into the senior citizens van and then shit and drove off. I was like, this nigga. But I'm gonna tell you, like, part of where I'm coming from. Like the most recent one was one of the last episodes, and it was with Tay Diggs and his family, and Cedric's son caught him outside. I was like, yo, this nigga about to kill Tay Diggs and go in and smoke the whole house. But then his brother came out, took care of business. And I was like, I thought that was kind of like a moment, you know what I'm saying? Like to not really like go there like so much, whatever, even though y'all definitely go there like all the time, like 100%.
And I look, all those things lined up for me the entire way. Once you gave me the drugs, I'm doing something. Look, you're dealing with the trauma of being burnt up, and the angry came back to get him. So that could go to anybody that's in the way. You know what I'm saying? And then I got how I could do that and perform it from a real place. But other than that, like I have to create a real reason for the character's actions that I'm doing, or I'm not going. I don't believe it. I don't want to do it because I don't want them to look at me and not believe me.
Very believable. When you going to direct some more, man? That episode.
That was great.
Safe House.
That was epic.
That's one of the top 5 episodes for the
that
whole.
Was one of the best ones for the whole show, hands down.
I'm trying to look into it now. I'm inspired. I'm gonna do one of the Hulu fucking joints too.
That's dope.
And you got Meth playing Meth is a lawyer, like
yeah, that was good.
That's ill right there.
No, let me just say this and shit. When the agent got the call, he's like, "Yeah, power." I was like, "True." Finally, hold up, dust the guns off, go out here and murk something. But wait a minute, they on their final season. How they? He was like, "No, it's a spinoff, Power Book 2." I was like, okay. What's the character? He's like a lawyer. I was like, okay. But I was on board. I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. Went in audition for the shit, got the motherfucker, and I'm not really familiar with that world, but I'm taking it from a level of a nigga being in court. Now, with me, when I was in court, first thing I would look at on the lawyer is what? Look at his shoes. His shoes if he got fly shoes on and shit, obviously this nigga get money. He good at what he do. I'm looking at his suit. Oh, his tight. Okay, yeah, he know what he doing. He the fucking man. I apply that to Davis McLean. If you strip away all the shit from Davis McLean, he just a black man. He walk in any store, he gonna get followed. But in that suit, with them shoes on,
and his fucking briefcase,
and the way he carry himself, ain't nobody gonna follow that nigga around. They gonna ask him for advice if they following him.
Now, if you've been a part of The Wire and now you're a part of the Power legacy, and to me, I consider those the 2 best shows of all time, especially for our culture, man. Like, how does it feel to be a part of just 2 tremendous legacies like that?
Well, The Wire off top, those relationships you keep for a lifetime over there. Because I'm still cool with everybody over there from crew to grip. Matter of fact, when I auditioned, the person who directed the first episode was an AD. Wire, Anthony Hemingway. I've known Anthony for years. So to be a part of The Wire, I came in second season. I was already, what it was. I knew what it was already and shit. Had to go and audition for that. It was great to sit there and receive accolades for something that I had a very small part in, knowing that it was a bigger picture that it was serving. Now, Power, on the other hand, it's like, nigga, I don't know what your favorite show is, but it's like, okay, let's say Game of Thrones is your favorite show, and they happen to call you and tell you, we doing a spinoff of Game of Thrones, we want you to come through. What's going to be your reaction?
I'm there.
What is it? What do you need me to do? Nigga, nailing it, everything, whatever it take to require to get there, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that somebody who looked like me, came from where I came from, is sitting there at the head of the motherfucking table. It's a whole different kind of pride that come behind that, brother. Whole different kind of pride. Kudos, 50, man. You did that shit, B.
And you
gotta ask you quick for.
We got time for one more question. Yeah, one more question. Then move on.
I just gotta ask y'all about Mary J. Blige. Maybe one of the most gangster characters that we've seen on Power so far.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the queen just being such a cutthroat in the show and the head of the family.
She got a chance to, with her and Courtney, they got a chance to get together and build to create the Monet character. And at the time, we didn't know that it was for Power Book 2. Because when I got them together, I just wanted to get them into the same room because I knew Mary was enjoying it and she was doing like little power parties and stuff like that. I had people around, they all was watching it. And then I'm like, if we could get Mary to do it, like if I could just get her in the joint, it would be crazy. Like just like Kendrick's performance. Like I just don't want little shit for no reason, but I just wanted to be really good. So let's figure out how we could do it. And then when she actually came, they hit it off, man. They started talking about different things and real things, the characters, and people that she interacted with and stuff like that. So Courtney was able to build that and then put it in the tail end to start the new version of it. And it really just worked out, man. Like there was a point that Ghost was dying where I died. And then the whole who shot Ghost, like who did that, was coming before the end of the season.
Wow.
It got moved around and she needed something big to happen. And I was like, they definitely won't expect me. When I've been doing all the promotions, like, look, when we say Ghost must die, that came from communications to me with Courtney saying, you know what, when you see Bruce Willis, you know what you know is gonna happen? He's not gonna die for the movie zone. See Sylvester Stallone, he's not gonna die. Like you see, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not gonna die, and these movies were made around that. Like so, how did we create this? The guys, the hero. I've done all the press and publicity around the project. So if Kanan's getting ready to come out of jail, they're gonna go, oh, he's gonna kill him, and then he's gonna just have the show for the rest of the show. They do all the promotions, but in the beginning, man, the outlets didn't even want them interviews. The show started. Look, there was an action for Omari, Joe, or Tori in the very beginning of the show. As we went season 3, this is when I'm like, yo, we heating up. When they started calling them without me, and everybody wanted to talk to them, and I was, you don't understand how happy I was. I was like, I don't have to do shit. It's working.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Well, thank you so much they want you to go now, so we're gonna let you go.
Congratulations, fellas.
Thank you so much. Good luck with everything. Shah, go ahead.
Nah, just say congratulations, man. Y'all always represent the culture. We appreciate it.
Yeah, peace to Meth and Ghost, man. Y'all niggas is ghosts, man, for real. Love y'all niggas. Keep going. Word up.
You remember I seen you on the red carpet of American Gangster, and I was in a way at that time and shit. You know what I mean? And you noticed it, and you said something to me that stuck with me. You know what I mean? The fact that you checked for me and noticed it, to see where I'm at now, brother, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Because I was
always, man. Always.
Yeah. Much love to y'all.